Every day, there are incredible preparedness deals floating around the internet, but who has time to dig through dozens of websites to find them? That's why we created PrepperFinds.com, your one-stop site for the best prepper deals online. Our team scans the web, finds the biggest discounts on survival gear, food storage, water filters, radios, and more, and posts them in one easy place. No more wasting hours searching or missing out on limited time sales. At PrepperFinds.com, you'll see the best deals every single day, so you can save money while stocking up on what really matters. Check it out today at PrepperFinds.com. Bookmark it, visit daily, and never miss a deal that could keep your family prepared. That's PrepperFinds.com, where smart preppers shop.
Survive, thrive, stay alive. It's time to get prepared with the Prepping Academy podcast.
Welcome to the Prepping Academy podcast. This is Patrick, and I am in with a special guest. I don't know if I should call him a guest because he's kind of the founder of this, but he's been missing for a little while. I have found him. We have proof of life, though you guys can't see it. He's holding up a copy of the New York Times with today's headlines on it. He is alive. He is with us. We have found him, and we are bringing him on to his own podcast technically today to talk about what's going on with him and PrepperNet and all kinds of stuff. So with that, I would like to introduce everyone to the long lost and forgotten Forrest Garvin. How are you doing today, Forrest?
I'm doing really good, Patrick. Thank you for doing the podcast, and thank you for bringing me out of hiding. I haven't been in hiding. It's been a lot of things just adding up, but yeah, I'm glad to be here and appreciate you and everything that you do, and so yeah.
Well, thank you. We have all missed you at PrepperNet and all the other things that are going on. I know you've been a very busy man with Garvin Academy and all the projects and things that you're working on that are going wild.
Yeah, I guess just the things I'm doing, we won't get into yet what I've not been doing, but so I've been focused on Garvin Academy. I've released a site called PrepperFinds.com. I've also have a new company that we have 4 employees that does marketing. I don't reveal that name yet, but it does marketing, and literally we're working already in the Charlotte and Raleigh and probably in a week in Atlanta market, selling some marketing stuff for companies. Been doing that. I've also been trading crypto. I've been doing a lot of fun things I like to do. I'm more than a prepper. Okay. Literally I was a banker, became entrepreneur, and that entrepreneur spirit has really kind of hit me. And so I love what I'm doing. I miss PrepperNet and everything. And I haven't been totally gone from PrepperNet. Last month I taught in the Charlotte meetup, my spy course. And I keep up with the friends that are in the Charlotte area that are dedicated and that come to meetings and that are real, not just the fluff ones that come for entertainment but yeah, I've been prepping like crazy.
Wait. People come to PrepperNet meetings for fluff and entertainment?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't ever happen.
It's not for the food. We eat in the worst greasy spoon place in Charlotte, where they give us a free room. And we've been there for over 10 years, so...
Well, there's a reputation now there. I guess you've got to stick to the reputation. You're not in hiding.
No,
you're doing things that you love, which we've all got to take a break from prepping. We can't do the doom and gloom stuff all the time, and so many people get into prepping for the doom and gloom, the dopamine hit, all that kind of stuff. But there's more to life than just stockpiling rice and beans. There's friends, there's stuff to do, there's other things to pursue. A part of being prepared is having a job and paying the bills. We all have to do different things, and it's good for us to take a break and step back from projects at times so we can get a fresh look at what's going on.
So PrepperNet has been around for over 10 years, 11 years. And last year, I'll be honest with you, man, I was beat down. So I was traveling everyone knows the story. If you're not, listen to a previous podcast, but I was traveling to prepper camp and literally was 2 feet from being killed by a tree that is 3 foot in diameter. It literally hit the roof and slid down, and my bed was against the wall where it slid down. And so that kind of shook me up a little bit. And then I couldn't get to prepper camp because of all the roads were washed out, trees were down. And so I struggled with that because, I've been going to prepper camp every single year and seeing all my friends. And so kind of I won't say it because I'm not one to get depressed, but I was kind of down. Then I came back to Charlotte, and then all the stuff was going on in the mountains with the hurricanes. My people, because I'm from Spruce Pine, and again, we've done podcasts on it, and I was like, it was just so draining on me that my heart was just like, gosh, it was that kind of started a progression to just kind of step back from a few things to get healthy and to have positive thoughts, because literally I had friends that lost everything. We were sending people up there. We were helping you and the group you were with. And we were it took a lot out on me. And then it came, all of a sudden winter showed up. I won't say I was depressed, but I was down. I was just like, this isn't the way life's supposed to be. And, being a Christian, it was like, what the heck is going on with me? So anyway, how do I crawl out of that? The only way I know how to crawl out of that, one is, get in the Word, my Bible, and 2 is create things and create businesses and get into people. I've been mentoring people with their home-based businesses, and I literally, some of them success stories are just beyond your imagination. They're just incredible. And been doing the crypto and I'm writing. I kid you not, I've written 2 books and I'm writing one more right now. And so so I have kind of drawn away and and also, let's be honest, the savior of all preppers was elected to office. Because apparently, I know, I'm just making because everyone's like, we don't have to prep anymore.
It's so true. There's a segment of prepping that's like, what do we have to prep for anymore?
I know.
Trump's in office. We're good. It's like,
I'm like,
y'all know we're like next to nuclear war still. There's not really anything that's changed.
We're blowing boats out of the water in Russia. It's not very safe right now.
But Trump's in office. It'll all be okay, right?
I know. That's the mindset. And so what has happened with that is I've had city leaders go, just kind of lose hope, and they've stopped being the city leader. All our meetups have kind of lost some traction. We've the group meetup was costing us so much. I'm like, okay, guys, we're moving all the groups to PrepperNet.net, which has lost some traction as well. And our meetups are, finally going away because I couldn't afford to bill because I was footing this thing, a lot of it myself.
And that's something I don't know that everybody knows about. The people who are like in PrepperNet that were part of the PrepperNet.net site kind of knew what was going on, know about meetup issues. And you were paying more than my first brand new car cost a year in order to, that was 20-something years ago. So, things are a lot different now, thanks previous administration that caused record inflation. But, it was out of control, and we had to. You really had to look at doing something else. So it's not that PrepperNet's going away. He's not closing the door. There's not a for sale sign on the front. There's not.
Wait, there is a for sale sign. Everything's for sale. I just read a book by Gary V, which is, he goes, everything's for sale. And I'm like, I mean, I've heard that before, but when he said it, because someone wanted to buy his father's vineyard, which he made, he made a lot of money. Gary V's a vulgar guy, but he's got marketing ideas. But then someone came up to his dad's vineyard and said, "Hey, I'd like to buy your vineyard." And Gary V's like, "No, it's not for sale." And the dad goes, "Hang on, son."
So how many zeros do you want to put?
Yeah, exactly. He ended up didn't selling it, but he's like, "I want to hear the offer."
Yeah, So,
but it's not for sale. It's kind of a calling, and it's just been, I just kind of needed a little break. And you've been running it,
well, we're around, we're doing stuff. People want to hear from you, but it's moving. A lot of, like you said, I'm guilty as charged on that too. I'm not doing anything with my city group. I've needed to take a step back and needed to refocus energies on finishing some homestead projects, dealing with some other stuff. I've been building the Grid Down Comms Up project that y'all know about to try to get the communications information out there, because during the hurricane, I mean, logistics and communications were where it was at. Those were the driving forces behind a lot of that recovery, and I've wanted to focus on that rather than baby prepper stuff, because I got a little burned out on the whole entry level, all new people coming in. Hey, what do I do? I've got 2 weeks worth of food in my pantry. That's awesome. There's some YouTube videos you can go watch, and we'll get you up to speed on the rest of the way. But so I understand that. I always tell people also kind of on the prepping front, I don't make decisions in prepping based off of fear. I want to, if I get to the end of this life and nuclear war has not happened, the apocalypse has not happened, none of that stuff's happened, I don't want to go back and go, I wish I'd done a bunch of stuff different. I want to look back and go, what, I learned a bunch of cool stuff. I helped a lot of people with the skills that I developed, and I made a lot of great friends across the country that I would have never made otherwise, and had expanded my network hugely. And that's cool. And I have no regrets on that front. I don't want to be going, you know what, I really wish I hadn't sunk, $250,000 into that bunker or whatever,
Right. Yep. I will say that PrepperNet has some rock stars. And you, by far, are major rock star in PrepperNet. But also, like, we have a Raleigh city leader, Nico. The dude is just carrying forward and going. He's a rock star. And we have other leaders that are rock stars, but PrepperNet is still going. If there's not a leader in your area, I mean, let's talk. But yeah, we have rock stars that are just moving forward. And one of the things me and you talked about, I think it was probably 2 weeks ago now or something, is that the people we like to hang out with in PrepperNet are people that live this and it's part of their life, not people that are like, oh no, we could be at war. Let me go buy some food. They come today and they're gone tomorrow.
They are.
But we like the people that you can sit down and say, hey man, having these problems with these solar panels, you're like, oh yeah, when I did my solar panels, I had the same issue. This is what I did. I mean, we can relate because we're all growing and learning and really getting ready for whatever comes.
Yeah, they're living it. They've been at this. Yep. And it's not saying new people aren't welcome in that either, but a lot of us have been at this for 20 plus years at this point. It's just something that we do along with everything else, and it's a lot of fun. We've got great stories sitting around the campfire. Beth setting somebody on fire. I love Beth, but I've got to pick
special
on Beth
needs chair that she had at prepper camp one year. So there's her setting on fire. There's a lot of stories.
And from the community that you build doing that, you get so much stuff. And you've said in your group, in some of your classes where you've taught at different events on building a prepper group and that kind of thing, that there becomes a point in that where all of a sudden you don't want to hang out with your regular friends anymore. You want to hang out with your prepper group friends and go do fun stuff with them because it becomes your family.
So I'll give a little update because my survival group, which is real, which some of you guys know some people, some of you guys don't.
It's completely fake. Don't believe him.
Yeah. But we had a Zoom call, probably a week and a half ago. And everyone's like, hey, man. I mean, because we haven't done a lot either. We still have people going to the retreat and taking care of things, but we've had no social events this summer. It's kind of like even my group is taking a break, but everyone's still paying their dues. We have small dues at this point that we pay. And everyone's like, let's do a fall event. Let's get back and let's do a fall event. So we're planning a fall event for everyone to get together. We're not going to the retreat because the retreat's in Miami. That's too far for us to travel.
And there's a homeowners association, it sounds like. So that kind of rules me out, you know.
Yeah. But we're gonna one of the guys have a pool and we're like, hey, Sunday, everybody come over, we'll cook and we're gonna hang out. And that's my survival group. We're still together. But even things on that front has kind of calmed down as well. And, you know, I apologized and said I was sorry to everyone. Everybody's just like, hey, it's not your fault. We're all in this together.
So I just have to ask, if you're throwing a pool party at the retreat in Miami,
no.
Was the boat that got blown up the party favors that were on the way?
That was our supplies, dang blessed. We're going to try a submarine. No, actually it's a pool party here in Charlotte because why drive to Florida for a day? Yeah. That's hard to do.
It is. You spend all the time in the car.
Yep.
And there's no time to recover. So yeah.
But we're all looking forward to it. My daughter is going to come home from college to attend it because she knows all the girls, you know, that's a part of that.
They grew up together.
Yeah. They've literally, I mean, my daughter was not even born when we started this thing. She's 21 years old. That's insane right there.
Well,
now she is. Sorry, real quick. No, she's going to college with one of the girls in the group right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
In college. So
that is so cool. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're talking about. It's the community. It's the network that you build that it kind of makes all this stuff worth it. So folks that are out there kind of looking in from the outside, man, it doesn't seem like there's much going on in PrepperNet. There's still stuff going on in PrepperNet. You just don't see as much of it because there's not as many new people. If I had to look at the statistics on the PrepperNet site, you know, most of the new stuff that you saw a couple years ago were newer people coming into PrepperNet, and a lot of those people, either when political situations, other things change, they cycle out, or they find themselves in a real group somewhere, and they're doing that stuff, and they're not really in the public spotlight the same way they were before. So a lot of that goes on. And there's also the simple fact that right now, you know, the economy when it comes to prepping and the economy when it comes to like guns and ammo and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of rough at the moment. People are not spending money in those areas. Have you sold any legacy stuff recently?
I haven't sold any in over a year. I kid you not. I haven't pushed it at all, but I haven't.
I remember a couple of years ago when you couldn't get it.
I know, yeah. Actually, they're having a sale right now. I haven't even looked at it. But they are having a sale right now. I will say that I've don't hate me, but I have got a comms plan that I've given everyone in my family.
Okay, good. You're doing your thing. You're doing what you're supposed to do.
28 members all have 2 Baofeng radios now. I know it's Baofeng. I know but they're Baofeng radios, 28 members. They're all programmed exactly alike. They all have little cards. They have a notebook plan. The first thing that we can all, where we live, can hit GMRS towers.
Cool.
So we have backups, we got times, then we got, ways to put antennas up, each family, in a segment, because we're all kind of around the Charlotte area, which is sad, but we have an entire plan.
Run away.
And we've tested it many times. And it took me, I kid you not, I told you, remember a year ago?
You were asking me questions.
I told you I found all these radios.
Yeah, they were in like the top of your shed or something.
Yeah, they're top of my shed. I'm like, what the heck are these? And there was like 24 or 30, there were a bunch of radios. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot these were even here. And so they've been distributed. And so they got two. One's in a EMP wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Tinfoil. It's not a box. It's literally baggy, tinfoil. Baggy, tinfoil, that kind of thing.
It works well enough. Yeah, that's. But you're doing it. Is it? No one will ever achieve perfection in communications when good will do enough. And frankly, if you're just chasing perfection, you'll never achieve good.
Right.
And having a bow thing, as much as I make fun of them at times, puts you ahead of 99% of the rest of the population for a while. It's you've got a plan and you're implementing it, you're training on it, and that is the important thing. Having the box of them in the top of the shed, it wasn't doing anything, but now
I forgot
you guys have got to.
And I tried. We tested these.
So
what these are.
For folks that aren't going to be able to see the video here because we're doing a podcast, he's holding up two Mesh-tastic devices.
Yeah. We tested them, and we could just never get it to. We decided not to go forward with Mesh-tastic.
I won't go down the Mesh-tastic rabbit trail right now, but it's. It may be sometime in the future, but I don't think it's ready for prime time for what we do right now.
We couldn't get it to work for us. And so we've been doing with the family. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic in my family. I'm in a group and my family is not in that group. My family since has bought a retreat property and they're getting ready to build a building on it. And they know I'm in another group, and they're trying to entice me enough to go to the new retreat property that my family's building instead of my current one. And I'm like, I don't know. And they're not close either. They're a 2-hour drive from each other.
So the way you look at this is a couple of friends of mine look at this. They have a north, a south, an east, and a west bug out location. Mm-hmm. And they've got gear at all of them if you're lucky enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And if one of them is inaccessible, gets blown off the map, they just go to another one.
Yep.
So, it's about having layers and having backups. And,
So I got backup.
So maybe being part of two groups is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, it may be a bad thing if one of them's depending on you and you don't show up, but,
Another thing I've been working on is, and I don't want this to sound like crazy or bad but I've been working on my income streams, because with money coming in, it gives you freedom to do a lot more things. So I've created a company that we're going to be doing a lot of social media stuff for other companies. We've already got revenue. We've got 4 hires. I've also 2 of the companies that I'm helping with the home-based business that I teach the classes, 2 of the companies I actually invested in, which are interesting. But I liked what they were doing so well, and they needed capital. I invested in 2 of them, and they're both really. It was less than $6 million. Okay.
Just chicken feed, right? Just chicken.
It was less than $6 million. Yeah. It was, less than several thousand. Okay, but it wasn't a lot. But it just sounds better if you say it was less than $6 million.
It's less than $1 trillion. You're still working in government numbers there.
It's like today. I work at this co-work, and this lady came up that goes to my church, and she goes, "Forrest, you've lost some weight," which I've lost 28 pounds.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. And she's like, "Man, you've lost some weight. I can tell." I'm like, "Wow, you're like the first one that have said anything to me." She goes, "What's the motivation?" And I said, "Well, I'm an Olympic hopeful." She looked at me like I just had 5 eyes all of a sudden.
At least she didn't make a geriatric Olympics joke.
Yeah. She didn't go there, but she's like, okay.
Is this for what, shot put or
whatever they need? If America calls, I'll be available.
Biathlon.
What's the guy with the gun that just did the, just...
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I just no glass, just shot at the target and got like silver or bronze.
Yep.
He was called at the last minute, I think. No, he wasn't. but prepping's always on my mind. I mean, I will say that my vehicles are always prepared. My everyday carry. I still do everything there. As I'm looking around, just in my studio, I'm big into privacy and security now. I have a privacy phone. I have a privacy laptop. I've changed all my work and even phone calls to a mostly private way so I don't get recorded. And I'm not talking like an Apple phone with some apps on it. I'm talking like I literally have a de-Google phone.
Are you using like a Graphene OS or
Graphene OS phone? Yep. And then for my laptop, I have a not dual boot. It's just Linux. I do the Mint because it's very easy for me. And and just to challenge, just real quick, advertisement for it, but you can do it yourself. And if you ever use their Office products, you will be so relieved that the simple things are simple and the hard things are not even there. Like when you're doing word processing, you don't see 50 tabs up there. It's a word processor where you can do all the basic stuff, and it's so relieving not to like, what is that? That's not what I want. It's just like simple. You've used this system before, haven't you?
Oh yeah. The only thing that I miss is some of the features of Microsoft Excel. It's their version of Excel is not quite there yet, but everything else I would rather use. And that I don't want to. Well, I'm going to run us down a rabbit trail for just a second.
Okay.
Because I think what you're doing with privacy stuff is it's important for the prepping community, because so much of the prepping world, we want to focus on the beans, bullets, and Band-Aids side of things, because that's kind of the cool type part of things, and that's why communications kind of gets the short straw, because that's boring, geeky stuff. But the reality is, you guys, you need to look at what's going on in England right now, in Great Britain. 1984 is real, and it could be coming to a location near you, and it's going to require a higher level of technical capability than most preppers, frankly, at the moment are capable of, in order to remain anonymous, at least sort of anonymous even, have some sense of privacy and some sense of freedom without being tracked and having people look over every word that you say and print and do online. You're carrying around a phone with you every day that's recording everything that you say. If you don't believe me on that, go to lunch with a friend you don't see too often, talk about a topic that neither of you are interested in, and then see if it doesn't start showing up in the advertisements on both of your phones, because I assure you it most likely will. Like
in Australia, Signal is getting ready to pull out of Australia because they passed a law that would give the government a backdoor to Signal so they could see people's messages. And Signal goes, we'll just leave. We're not going to put up with that. I think a great victory did come from Donald Trump, actually, with England, because England wanted a backdoor into Apple. And Trump told them, no, you're not going to get that. And I think they've kind of settled down on that, to not get the back door into Apple, but who knows? But you're right.
Yeah.
It's going to get worse and worse. And so we've talked about this, and we need to go forward. And if you guys know, but we've been talking about doing a session server for the encrypted app sessions, and the other app that you I think that Amron's been using.
Element IO that we've been messing with.
Yeah, Element.
PBN, the Prepper Broadcasting Network. Walton, what's his? Is it James?
James Walton. Yes.
I think they're doing something like that as well. A lot of people move into other privacy-based apps, decentralized stuff.
Decentralized, yep.
Just
tell them what decentralized means. That's a word.
Yeah,
people don't truly understand it.
So everybody knows. Well, most people don't know what cloud-based means. So to paraphrase cloud-based, that's someone else's computer. You're sharing your stuff with someone else's computer, and they're in control of it because
like Signal.
Possession is 9/10 of the law. Signal is an example of that. A decentralized system is more like a cryptocurrency, a blockchain type thing, where the bits and pieces of the information are shared across millions of devices around the internet, around the network, so that you can't centrally take off one server and then all of a sudden the service disappears.
Right.
Because that's a real problem that we're looking at in, I guess, what would it be, fifth generation warfare that we're entering into, where that cyber warfare becoming even more intense with AI, potential quantum computing, a lot of things that are on the horizon. We're going to see a lot of centralized services go offline very frequently as they're attacked by potentially foreign adversaries, non-government adversaries, whatever it is. But if you realize, like if you work for a major corporation, all of their stuff is tied into Microsoft Azure at this point, because that's what most corporations do. If Microsoft Azure goes offline, congratulations, your company can't even log into their email. You can't do anything. You can't elevate your credentials to an administrator to take the computer off the network so you can use it. You are locked out of everything. And it is basically complete work stoppage in a lot of ways for a lot of corporations. So decentralizing, spreading that stuff out, building that resiliency, something we're going to have to do as we see disruptions from a lot of this stuff. So, getting on board with learning a lot of the things Forrest is teaching in privacy is kind of it's a critical skill that as preppers, we're going to have to move technologically into that stuff, because everybody wants to go with the William Fortune, 1 second.
1 second after.
What's going after, yeah. It's simple, an EMP goes off and nothing works. We go back to, 1860. That's easy. The fifth generation warfare, privacy, you're being tracked. Honestly, the dystopian sci-fi type thing is probably more likely. And being prepared for that stuff is something that, a lot of us need to look into and develop a little more. All right, I'm going to steer us back out of this rabbit trail. Get back on the road here.
Okay.
Out of the ditch a little bit. So let's talk about the current state of PrepperNet, because I think that a few people maybe think PrepperNet is now abandonware or something like that. But it's not.
It's not. We have groups all over the United States still meeting. We have groups we have a group in Arkansas that meets every month, and they're not even on the .NET site. And I keep telling the guy, I'm like, hey, go. I think I did create a thing for them, but we got
Northeast Tennessee is still huge.
Yep.
Nico, like you were saying, dude's a rock star. He's doing lots of stuff.
Hey, let's take a quick break.
Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at PrepperNet.com.
So and Jacksonville, Florida, still going.
San Antonio.
Yep,
Texas boys are still at it.
Yep.
And a lot of them were really involved in the flooding with the Guadalupe River down there. I was checking on a lot of those guys because a lot of them are within driving distance. One of them was running around in his Jeep pulling people out of the mud after that happened. So
there are groups going on. So to be honest, I'm motivated by people being motivated, and people haven't been motivated. So we could do all this work and not get people motivated to come back or get involved or whatever. But we also got to understand that there's flows and times. And when President Obama was elected, prepping went, the interest level went high. And then, and then Trump, and everything went down as Trump, and then Biden, and people started getting up with Biden. So it goes like this. PrepperNet's always going to be here. We're always going to have our own line. We're always going to be doing some podcasts. We're meeting wherever we have leaders. But just think, tomorrow could be an event that Russia's one of their drones go astray and they hit an American property or something in Ukraine. And all of a sudden it could change, and all of a sudden people are like, holy crap. So we want to make sure the infrastructure is still there, which we're holding on to. And so that when people do come back or people do start prepping and get serious about it, because, of course, I'm not going to blame people. It's like sports. Our team's not doing well, so, I'm not going to watch it this year. And the next year it's doing well. That's part of life. That's just the way people are. Yep. We wish they weren't, but we're going to keep the infrastructure and everything ready and going. So when we would hope that we would be better prepared every time this happens.
And also, I want to remind the listener, you guys are PrepperNet, okay? If you want to see more PrepperNet events happening, come talk to us and start putting it together, because PrepperNet is a community-driven organization, which means people in the community have to get involved. It's not a top-down. Forrest is not, well, we tease him about being a fearless leader, but I don't think his goal is to be the supreme grand.
No, I'm not that way.
Get involved.
I'm getting a lot of grief, and I don't care. You can tell I don't care, but I send emails out for home-based business, crypto, and privacy and security. And I'll be honest with you, if I could pick 3 things to teach you, the most important things that I think I could teach you without going to your house and showing you how to start a fire, or which you can get 50,000 different ways on the internet, going to your house and showing you how to put a bug out bag together, which you can get all that. What I am doing within PrepperNet, believe it or not, you may hate it, but I am teaching people how to make extra income and to save money on taxes. I do that every single month. That is one of the best prepping things, to have extra money and to know how to make money if you lose your job. And then privacy and security, I think that's huge, and it's going to become a huger thing in the future about not being tracked and being anonymous, and communications and all this stuff. And the crypto thing is how to make money. I'm literally prepping people to be better in life, to make more money, and to be self-sufficient. I'm like, okay, that's 3 things I can teach anyone on the internet. Don't expect me to come to your hometown and teach you how to do a bug out bag. There's 70 million people teaching you that on the internet. I'm teaching you real life skills. And I'm not begging you to take my classes. I do well with my classes, and I do, but I'm teaching real skills that are future proof in a sense. So, and that's how I feel about it. I'm still in the prepping business by teaching my classes. And so, but getting them emails again, I don't care. That email that day is not for you. You know what? Because people are taking my classes, and I'll say this, and this, I'm going to say this humbly, with humility. I've got several businesses that are making over $100,000 a year that I've helped prepper families start and create. And I've got probably 30 businesses that are making, people are going to quit their job because of taking the class and me helping them and this kind of going together and me walking with them. I got one guy, I kid you not, He invested $1,000 in a crypto I told everybody I was going to invest in December. And he put a lot of money in there. And I was like, dude. And that $1,000 turned into $150,000. 2 days later, he got fired from his job. And I'm like, what? $1,000 turned into $150,000. Several of my people from my class got into that. But I think these are skills that are part of prepping. I'm not going to teach you how to, raise rabbits on the internet. I'm just, but I'm teaching you real life skills that you can't learn in your prepping groups, literally, because the things I teach are,
you're teaching financial independence in a way on that. And that's a huge prep because we look at it, there are only so many hours in the day that we can trade for money. And if that's the system that you're stuck in, it's very hard to go to. You look at some of the big YouTube homesteaders. I won't name any of them by name, but you guys know some of the names that I'm thinking of. And one of them's in the Oregon, Washington area, has big, huge wears flannel all the time. But these guys have been super successful on YouTube and made a career out of YouTube. And the current state of YouTube, you can't do that anymore. YouTube is a mess. But having something that allows you to build the homestead, expand this stuff while making money and not having to go to a 9-to-5, that's really the only way you can do this. And I know a lot of preppers have that dream of, I want 50, 100, 150 acres. I want a homestead. I want to have cattle. I want to have sheep. I want to have this. I want to have that. Well, in order to do that, you got to have some money. And, so many preppers that I talk to on that front that are looking for property, doing that, they don't have any money. They're like, oh, can we go find 20 acres in the, guys that don't know, I'm in Tennessee. Can you come and find, can I find 100 acres in Tennessee for, $200,000 with, nothing on it? I can build my homestead and that kind of thing. It's like, no, you probably can't. Not in today's world.
Nope.
Maybe 15, 20 years ago we could have done that, but not today. And I hate seeing people's dreams crushed like that because they've not been prepared in other areas of life to try to expand and do that kind of thing. So there's more to prepping than beans, bullets, and Band-Aids and buckets full of stuff. And it's like, it's awesome. It is an insurance policy for if the worst case possible actually comes to pass. But for a lot of people, the worst case that comes to pass is getting fired. And in an economy where getting a job is hard, because I don't believe the current unemployment rates that we're seeing. I think that's a lot worse than what we're actually seeing. But at the same time, I can't find anybody to work for me. So that's a whole nother discussion there. But there's being financially stable and not being on the verge of losing everything, because over the years, I've seen people who spent a lot of money building their ultimate dream bug out location, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years into it, they can't afford to pay the mortgage payments anymore because the situation's changed, and then all that equity goes away.
Yeah, in my class, I teach people how to get out of debt in my home-based business. It's kind of one of the goals we have is to get out of debt. And I show them how to do how most people could literally get out of debt today. I show them how they could do that. Take some sacrifices and some planning, but also I on all three of my classes, and I'm going to stop my class because this is not my classes, but I've over the past 25 years, I've accumulated a lot of silver. Well, silver is at almost an all-time high right now.
That's what, close to 40 an ounce?
41 an ounce right now.
Cow.
And I'm like, okay. And I told my members on my class, hey guys, I'm selling 500 ounces of silver.
I remember in 2008 when silver was $6 and some change an ounce and went to $38 an ounce in like 2 years during the housing market crash.
So it's at 41. And I'm like, I told my people, hey, I've got a monster box, of silver, which is 500 ounces. I'm
kind of wishing I'd bought a pallet back then, but
And I'm like, hey, I'm getting ready to sell because I have a lot of silver. I mean, not a lot, but I've got, at least, 2 monster boxes, but that's $20,000 worth right there.
Yeah.
In silver.
And will it go higher? I don't know. I have the concern now with a lot of precious metals that we may see a kind of a decrease in value. I don't know if we've hit peak on some of that or not. Probably not, but I'm not a financial advisor. Don't listen to anything that I say about money. You will lose money if you listen to me. So don't do that.
Same with me, because I'll probably, so they're sending me a box to put this box in to send it. And so I'm going to send it tomorrow. So don't be coming to my house. It'll be gone by the time you get here. But I'm going to mail it to the company that's buying, because I sold it online. I'm pretty excited about that. That box cost me around $8,000 when I first bought it, and it's 500 1-ounce coins, and it's called a monster box. It's still sealed, and I'm selling that. So anyway,
cool.
What am I going to do with that? I'm going to buy seeds. No, I don't know what I'm going to buy.
You'll invest it in something else, most likely. That's and on that front, something I've noticed. We were talking about this slump and prepping and that kind of stuff. I'm noticing that like farm machinery, equipment, stuff like that was like used stuff was selling for practically new prices for the last few years. Is starting to crash in price again. I think a lot of people that attempted homesteading in 2020 are finally having to bail. And they're selling off a lot of that stuff that they gathered up, and they're selling it, frankly, at a loss, which is, unfortunate for them, but might be good for you if you're playing the long game here. There's a lot of things changing in the world around us, and a lot of things that we can be doing to prep right now that aren't the traditional prepper things. And we see the current state of prepping as kind of dismal in a lot of ways at the moment, because
So a couple of things. Food is still kind of high, but it's coming down. This is the first sale that Legacy's done in a long time, and they said they overstocked.
Since, 2019, really?
Yeah, it's been a while. So Legacy, is dropping their prices some. I mean, you don't want to buy silver right now. I mean, you should have bought that, last 5 years. So look at what's going on in the market, and I believe the best thing you can prep is yourself. I'm a huge believer is, what if you lose your job? Are you in debt? What can you do with the money you have? Preppers are known not to invest money. And that's why they stay broke. I mean, you know what I mean?
It hurts to hear it, but it's true.
It hurts to say it, but I mean, I'm a big believer in crypto. I mean, just even stocks or I read today the best franchise to buy is like a Ace Hardware. And I'm like, dude, I'd love to have an Ace Hardware.
I've always dreamed of retiring to some small little town somewhere, like Mayberry type town, and running the hardware store there. It's just perfect. I grew up
that way. In Spruce Pine, my dad had Garvin's True Value Hardware, and I grew up.
That's awesome.
And I'm thinking, do I want to buy Ace? I mean, you can buy Ace Hardware. It's you can get loans, so it's like $200,000 total, and they front you the product in there and stuff. And I'm like, and you make a lot of money apparently. So that was a TikTok video. I don't know if it was right or not.
Yeah, don't. Although that's tempting. Now I want to know more. Maybe,
I was writing the check.
I need to go to the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, and open up an Ace Hardware. This is
where there's not a Walmart.
Yeah, where there's not a Walmart.
But prepping is a state of mind. I'm always doing it. I mean, my privacy. That's part. I mean, so let's be honest. Let's be real. The only food I need for my preps is replacing food I bought 25 years ago. I don't need more knives. I don't need more guns. I don't need more. I literally, I think I told you this. I got a whole bulletproof outfits for everyone in my family by trading sun ovens for them.
Yeah.
With Katie armor. I'm like, hey, and they're like, yeah, everybody. So I sent them sun ovens. They sent me full gear and so I don't need any more of that.
That's great.
And so what I need now is my mind. I need to be able to stay sharp, make money, and preserve what I have.
And the thing you have to be careful of when that you're just stockpiling stuff and you're not developing skills is at a certain point you become a slave to the stuff that you've got because you've got to manage it. You got to rotate the fuel supply. You've got to rotate the food. You've got to rotate, and all that's time and it's responsibility and it's stuff. And I'm not trying to discourage people from prepping here, but you have to be careful how far into some of that stuff that you get and how you set up structure to manage it. Because if you become a slave to prepping, you're going to quit. It's not any fun anymore. It becomes a job. And a lot of people prep, I mean, out of fear, which they're not doing it for fun at that point. But if you don't make it a lifestyle, then you're not going to stick with it. It's just like the people that I want to lose weight. I go on a crash diet, I lose a bunch of weight. And I quit the diet and I go back to eating, half of a loaded pizza, for lunch. And, you gain it right back. You didn't change your lifestyle.
Yes.
And security is a thing with that too. It's like, and now that I've been doing this for a while, I notice things. Like I was going through resumes the other day looking to hire somebody. And I was noticing a number of people were using Proton Mail.
Oh.
And I was like, wait, what? Whoa, we have people using Proton? I'm used to seeing like Gmail, and it used to be Yahoo and stuff like that.
So someone even thinking that, you're like, oh, they've got...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're thinking.
And you're learning this stuff. These are skills that apply in other places. And
so a couple things, prepping things that even within the last month. So our power at our house has gone out 3 times in the past 3 months. The lowest was like 8 hours. It just seems this house is crazy. And I'm using gas and I'm like, okay, I got to refill all my gas because I have all this gas preserved. I'm like, oh, I put additives in my gas called PRIG for gasoline to preserve it. And it's been working. And I'm like, oh, I got to make sure I have that. And so that was a prepping skill knowledge I learned 15 years ago that I'm still doing today. And it was natural. Before I went to the gas station to refill 6-gallon containers, I put my PRI in each one of them. So when the gas goes in, it automatically mix it up.
Hang little tags off my cans that say what octane it is, because I keep like 87 for most stuff, but I also keep like 20 gallons of 93 for my chainsaws and stuff.
Yes.
And it's all no ethanol, and it's got PRIG in it, and I put the date on it. And
mine's Magic Marker, because for gas like my generator, I use just normal gas, but for my, what's the big brand for like blowers and stuff like that? Steel. For my steel backpack and everything, I want to use the better gas for it because that's So that I want to use the better gas and that. So that was a prepper thing that is part of my life now. Then another thing, January 26th weekend, we canned 6 bushels of beans.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. You had like a bazillion pressure canners running.
I was borrowing canners from everyone. Had a tent, and we had 6 canners going. We had people inside in the air conditioner. I put this indoor-outdoor carpet I bought for my camping and for prepping stuff. I put it in my floor. Not that green beans get things really bad, but they're all in there, snapping the beans, stringing them. But 6 canners going, and we canned a ton of beans. And I'm like, this is a skill I learned through prepping, canning beans and how to do this. Part of life.
And you're doing it as a group too, which is another community building. Even if it's family, you're still building community, working together on
my family's now preppers. But let me tell you also, I told this to some other people that I ran into. And they're like, hey, we can peaches. I'm like, whoa, peaches? Let's do some trades. Here's 10 beans. Give me some peaches. And them things are good. Oh,
I've been I've been running the freeze dryer constantly
Oh yeah.
with cherries because
Oh.
a lot of you guys probably know about Azure Standard, the food
Yeah.
co-op place. Azure came through the other day to drop, and they had a pallet of cherries extra, and I don't remember what they were selling for. It was dirt cheap. So we bought, like, I had cherries stuck in every corner of the house for a few days while we were pitting them and doing it. I mean, I have a freezer that's like part full of cherries waiting to be freeze dried, but it was like the price was so good. It's like, okay, hey, I'll buy all that because cherries are expensive if you go to the grocery store and buy them. Yeah, so
we're getting ready
take advantage.
To do a Azure Standard order because some of the rice that we put back 25 years ago, it's been 25 years. So they got rice, they got some vegetables, they got some things that we're going to just repackage, you know what I mean, and put them in buckets.
So what are you going to do? So is that what you're going to do with the 25-year-old stuff? What are you going to do with that?
We've already started eating like anything and we just have open buckets up there. I mean, so you're eating the 25-year-old stuff. It's still good because a lot of people put this stuff away and they're like, is it really going to be okay? Well, here you've got like empirical data. I put this away 25 years ago, and we opened a bag that was in 2003. So it's 22 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's a little color difference in the rice, but when you eat it, you have no idea. There's no bugs in it. You have no idea that it's old. Zero. So we got that. We got vegetables. We got apple slices. These were all prepackaged. None of us had freeze dryers back then. Now many people have freeze dryers in our group. And and then my prepping skills are coming out. I'm like, okay, when we order this stuff, we're going to take the bags and put them in the freezer because that kills the eggs and all this kind of stuff. Then you do all the other stuff, the buckets, the oxygen absorbers and everything. And it's just like, hey, that's just knowledge. It's not going anywhere now. We will say that the apple chips are great, crisp. The banana ones, no one wants to eat the banana. They're a little soft. And they're 21 years old.
Could you cook something like banana bread or something with them?
You probably could, but we're kind of staying away from them. No, we don't want to die. Not that we would.
Fair enough.
The banana, we're like, and no one. I mean, you try a little bit of one, you go, okay, that's not bad, but it's just kind of almost rubbery kind of thing, which we didn't expect that, but we don't know if there was a leak or what, but.
It's a banana. I've never been a huge banana fan, except in banana bread. So
we do have Wise because we didn't know back then Wise was ripping everyone off, but we bought a lot of Wise before I got into Legacy.
Well, there were only so many people in the game back then, too.
Yeah, it was. And
it was
so
Mountain House and
the Wise food it sucks just like it does now. I mean, you know what I mean?
It's just as bad as it was the day you put it away.
Yeah. I mean, they all are not really good, but you're like, okay.
You're not going to die. It'll keep you alive.
This is exactly what it tastes like, 22 years ago.
Yeah. That's I'm planting fruit trees and doing stuff like that now because in 25 years, I hope I have trees that are producing food every year, and you're investing and doing those sorts of things. But
so we're excited. We planted on the retreat 2 lemon trees.
Oh, cool!
I didn't know you can even grow lemons in North Carolina, but you can.
I didn't either.
We didn't know that, except when we go to my wife's, my mother-in-law's house. On the side of the road, there's these 2 lemon trees, and like there's a gazillion lemons on there when they're and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of lemons on one tree.
Yeah, because I'm doing like plums and cherries and muscadines and pawpaws and mulberries and
mulberry bushes.
Yeah, and stuff like the things that are kind of native a little bit to around here that should be pretty hardy. Yeah, and nut trees. I got pecan trees and stuff like that I want to get out to. But
So a couple things is
Yeah,
we
so-
we're going to do bug out camp, or so a lot of us are going to prepper camp this month in like 20 days. Then the next month we have bug out camp. Anyone can still come and get their reservations and meet us there.
Yep, that's what the I'd have to look at my calendar. It's
October
17th and 18th, I think.
I believe
that
so.
weekend. It's around there. Go check the PrepperNet.net site for
Yep.
details on that. If you don't have a campsite, I wish you luck, but you might find something in there, or you can probably find somebody that'll share. There's usually, I think somebody's got a couple sites. So
There's always people, something happens at the last minute, but
yeah,
and that's always a good time. And I guess we should ramp things up a little bit and maybe have a leader meeting and get and see who our leaders are.
yeah, maybe we should do. And that was another question. I kind of what's the future of PrepperNet? What direction are we going to? Do you want to push PrepperNet in? Is it going to continue? Do you want to continue with the city group based thing? Do you want to check? I mean, where?
So,
what are we looking at?
Well,
and I know those are some big questions that we don't know the answer to in a lot of cases.
We know the perfect prepper group is a community of people local to each other.
Yeah.
The only way you can do that is meetings. You don't have to call it a meetup, but just people in an area just getting together, meeting people, and just I believe everything should start with that, but that's also the hardest too, because you need a leader, you need commitment, you need a place to go. But maybe it should be a little bit less informal. Hey guys, let's go to do this or do whatever. But I still think that everything starts with community. If it's go ahead.
I mean, I was going to say, you're talking about the groups and the, getting people together and that kind of thing. One of the things that I saw when we were doing disaster relief with the hurricane is you'd get somebody that would say, hey, yeah, I'm going to come and help. Well, they didn't come and help. They came and helped, and they brought like their best bud and another one of their friends or something with them. So that one person turned into three, and usually they were kind of prepper types anyway, and they had some skills and some capabilities and stuff that were useful. And then the next thing you know, you got 200 guys standing around ready to work with like skills and equipment. And it's astounding how that even a small group can turn into a much bigger group really quick. And that's something that we don't think about. If you can get your prepper group of 10 people, and we're not talking mag group. We're not talking guys that you can call necessarily and go, hey, can I come move in your basement for a week? But guys that are, hey, a flood just came through, and my house got flooded, and I'm trying to clean the stuff out, and I'm trying to get my fences back up and get my livestock back in, and I'm trying to do this. Can you guys come help? You may end up with 30 people showing up. Just by asking some people, and then they weren't affected. And yeah, sure, we'll come spend the weekend trying to help this guy. So building that network and building that thing, it can snowball very quickly once you reach a certain critical mass. Once you get 3 or 4 people, it just grows and it grows and it grows and it grows. And then you turn around, you take that, and most of us here are believers, and we look at this at the thing. You take that, and then you turn around, and you can make a huge impact on your community. You can reach so many people because people who are in need, and then next thing you show up with 30 people, and you can move mountains. You can accomplish so much stuff and make such a difference in your community, and people see that and they don't forget that. You make such an impact on the hearts and minds of people in your community for the kingdom, and also to be not to be selfish, but you're building cred for your group, and sometimes you're building cred for your political affiliations and other things like that at the same time, because people are seeing you show up. They're seeing people that care and value people in their community, and that gets people's attention. And as preppers, a lot of times we want to, OPSEC, army of one, and I'm going to lone wolf it when things go sideways. And, you know, we've all talked about that's really not a viable solution for most people. And it doesn't accomplish the benefit to the community around us. Because that's, you know, I said earlier, if I get to the end of this and all I've done is made a bunch of people's lives better because I've been able to influence and impact them positively and teach them stuff that helped them, or be the hands and feet, then you know what? I've succeeded. I've done my part. I've not hidden in a cave somewhere. So
one of the things that I've been thinking about doing, which I'll probably move forward doing, is because PrepperNet is very good at emergency response, helping, even if it's just hands and feet. And I don't know, I think I shared this on some of the after action reports or whatever in the podcast, but a friend of mine has a nonprofit. It's called Beans and Rice. Yeah. We ended up, PrepperNet, he estimates about $25,000 was given to his organization from PrepperNet members.
Way to go, PrepperNet. That's awesome.
So I thought, I like a little bit more control over things than just giving it to my friend. I'm thinking about creating a nonprofit within PrepperNet where we can get the funds and then we can support people like you when you went to do the communications, and when Beth went up to Avery County, and when Derek went to, you know, Asheville, all these people that we could support, we could buy things, and we could literally, people can donate at almost like what's the guy's name that did the thing that he has a massive budget?
Grindstone Ministries is very independent that I was up. Yeah,
we don't want to do that, but I mean, if that $25,000 came in our nonprofit, then we could divvy that up how we see our hands and feet and our people, you know, are growing out to do things.
Well, and so the lion's share of PrepperNet people are within 400 miles of central North Carolina. So it's an area that, I mean, there's all kinds of people but when there's a big disaster like that, if everybody wants to work together, you can't have too many people helping. You know, you need a constant flow of people. You need people who are going to be there for longer than, you know, a couple of days. A lot of groups come in, burn themselves out 3 or 4 days, and then they're gone. And people need those that understand pacing and resource allocation and being there to get people through. And there's a group, what is the name of it? It's Appalachian something. I cannot remember it right now. That's been rebuilding houses and stuff in Western North Carolina and helping people out. And they're still at it. I mean, almost a year later. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of this, which is just crazy to think about, that it was almost a year ago that, you know, all that stuff happened with the hurricane. And, you know, they're still over there working, and that's a group that's really long haul. You know, they're keeping with it. So I think that would be amazing if we started, you know, some sort of, we got the people with the skills, we just got to get them to get out there and participate.
And it would be easier if, you know, like we had one guy, I forgot his name. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing.
Was it Mike down in South Carolina that used to drive around and cook and do food stuff?
Well, but we had a guy in Charlotte would take his truck and a trailer and was just taking supplies up to Mitchell County, Spruce Pine. Oh, what's his name? Oh, I hope he doesn't listen to this because this is embarrassing. But I mean, we could have paid for his gas, you know, things like that. So it doesn't, I mean, he didn't care and he wouldn't want that, but there might have been things that you needed to support Grindstone Ministry. There might have been things. So instead of us giving the money and just letting it go, and I mean, we trust them. I trust my friend Daryl 100% at Beans and Rice, but all they did was serve people food. That's all he does, is serve people food, which is great.
Yeah.
But I think if we started one and had a little fun there, then we could definitely, because there's going to be hurricanes and there's going to be, on the coast, there's going to be all kinds of things that in the future we could be involved with. And I would do the total legit, be a nonprofit, me, you, and maybe Beth or something. We would manage the funds so everyone knows it's up and
very transparent. And,
yes.
Run a proper
we would only
nonprofit.
Take 40% for no, I'm kidding.
Wait, no, we're not reproduce. I'll get sued if I say the not for you. You know exactly what I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, it would be.
You can find their logo on a lot of first aid kits.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. But I mean, we have a lot of wealthy people within PrepperNet that would love to give too. I mean, it's not for everyone to give, but I'll tell you this, and I'll just give them creds that during the disaster, Dr. Bones, Joe, and Amy Alton are very generous people in many ways when it came to last year's hurricane. So that's why I love them.
There were the outpouring that we saw during that was just, it was incredible. Not only of manpower and people, but resources and people literally moved mountains to make things happen. Sometimes in spite of difficulties that shouldn't have been there, but it was pretty amazing.
Beth became friends with General, what's his name?
Flynn. Yeah, I've got a picture of her with General Flynn.
I'm like,
somewhere.
What the heck? But guys, I'll tell you, PrepperNet's not going anywhere. It's 15 years now. It started in 2004, early 14. So it's been 15 years, and it's in that 15 years. No,
14 would be that would be 12. So was it 2014 that you started?
Was it 2014? Yeah, so it's over 10 years.
Because that was the year that you were at Heritage Life Skills, and I was making fun of you guys.
Okay, yeah. Yes, thank you. Yeah. See, I can be made fun of and still be friends with people.
Oh, man, those were the days I loved that event. I missed that event. But anyway, so that was 2014. It's 2025 now. So it was 11 years ago. So PrepperNet's been around either as CPN or PrepperNet for
CPN.
For 11 years.
So we'll get the team back together, myself and whoever, if you want to be a part. We'll start planning this. Maybe we can do some comms things because, our kids are back to school. We can have a little bit more time. Winter's coming. Maybe we can do a lot of training and we'll get things going. Get motivated and then join us and help us.
All right. Well, Forrest, thank you for giving up part of your evening. I know you're teaching most evenings and busy, so thank you for giving up part of your evening here to do a podcast and come back out of the shadows as far as PrepperNet goes and give everyone proof of life. And there's different things going on, and times change, and the world changes, and things are different. But PrepperNet is still there. PrepperNet is not going anywhere. It may look different. It may evolve. It may change. A lot of the people that help do things, everybody has life. They go through different phases of life. 11 years is a long time for a lot of people to be doing the same thing over and over and over again, especially as a volunteer. Remember, none of us get paid. Not even Forrest, I don't think, gets any money out of this because I'm pretty sure he spends all of it making this place work. So it's a long time for people to volunteer just doing the same thing.
Yeah, PrepperNet, though, look at it like this. PrepperNet is you. It really is. You are PrepperNet. So what can you do instead of what can you get out? What can you do to help people in your community, to help PrepperNet? It's our organization. What can we do as a collective whole to motivate people, to train people, and to get ready? So, take ownership of it. I'm allowing you to. That sounds weird, but let's do this together. And look forward to people calling me saying, "Hey, how can I help?" And we're like, "We don't know, but let's figure it out."
Awesome. Well, I want everyone to have a wonderful week. There's a lot of cool events coming up. As Forrest mentioned, there is the kind of prepper mecca of Prepper Camp over in Saluda, hopefully minus the hurricane this year,
Yes.
although that one will go down in history, and there's a lot of great stories that people are going to be telling for a long time that came from that one. A few folks that probably will be bringing some extra gear with them this year, just in case. And then PrepperNet's Bug Out Camp. And if you've never been to Bug Out Camp, it is a ton of fun. We're not doing as many classes this year as they kind of have done in the past, because frankly, most of us just end up sitting around socializing anyway. So if you just want to hang out with a bunch of really cool people, tell stories, talk about prepping stuff, and maybe learn a couple of other neat things, but really just have a relaxing weekend in an absolutely gorgeous campground, come hang out with us at Bug Out Camp. It's a lot of fun. So again, Forrest, thank you for coming and talking and telling us what's going on. And remember, guys, PrepperNet it's still going. If you're not a member, go over to PrepperNet.com, check us out, join us at PrepperNet.net, where the social media stuff's going on. Check out Forrest over at the Garvin Academy if you want to up your privacy game. And check me out over at YouTube on Grid Down Comms Up, where we talk about all kinds of prepping and communications and real-world application stuff. So hope you guys have a wonderful week.
Thank you, Patrick, for having me.
Oh, thank you, Forrest.
Oh, my podcast.
And, yep. And we'll do this again soon. And
Yes.
we'll pick some good topics. I'll drag Forrest back on here. We'll talk about some stuff. And try to not let him be gone quite so long.
Nope.
So
Okay. Yep.
thanks, Forrest.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Prepping Academy podcast. Preppers Unite at www.preppingacademy.com.
Has your data been hacked? Do you feel uneasy about the vulnerability of your personal information online? Were you involved in the Target, LinkedIn, or Microsoft data leaks? Don't know? If not, then pay attention. Join Forrest Garvin from PrepperNet for a free webinar on privacy and security. Gain insights into safe internet browsing, VPNs, crafting online aliases, secure emails, detecting if your data has been hacked, and managing passwords. Secure your spot today for this webinar on privacy and security. It's free. This webinar delves into comprehensive strategies for bolstering your online privacy. We've got you covered, from fortifying your passwords to shielding your financial information and mastering state-of-the-art encryption techniques. We're offering 2 convenient dates to suit your schedule. Reserve your spot now at PrepperNet.com/privacy. Don't let cyber threats erode your peace of mind any longer. Take the first step toward a safer, more secure online experience by joining us for our free webinar. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to safeguarding your privacy. Sign up now at PrepperNet.com/privacy. We'll see you there.